The 2026 Royal Enfield Flying Flea C6 is more than just another electric motorcycle. It represents Royal Enfield's first big step into the world of EVs, carrying forward the brand's heritage while embracing the demands of a modern urban future. This bike is the launchpad for an entirely new sub-brand called Flying Flea, and the C6 is the model leading the charge. Royal Enfield describes it as lightweight, design-focused, and purpose-built for city-plus riding. For a company with such deep roots in traditional motorcycles, this is a bold, calculated move. Let's start with what Royal Enfield has confirmed. The Flying Flea C6 is scheduled for release in early 2026, with availability varying by region. The company has made it clear this isn't just an experiment, it's a full-scale push into the EV world. The Flying Flea name itself is a tribute to a World War II-era Royal Enfield motorcycle, one that was famously lightweight and parachuted into battlefields. That history gives the new bike an identity rooted in toughness and ingenuity, but with styling that feels fresh and urban-ready. Visually, the C6 strikes a unique balance between nostalgia and modernity. At first glance, you'll notice the teardrop-shaped fuel tank. Of course, it isn't a tank anymore. It houses the battery. But Royal Enfield has smartly kept the silhouette familiar to appeal to traditional riders. The front end showcases one of the bike's most eye-catching elements, a reimagined girder-style forged aluminum fork. It's not just for show. It's a nod to the original Flying Flea design of the 1940s. Paired with an articulating mudguard, it creates a look that feels vintage yet contemporary. The battery casing is another standout. Made of magnesium with vane styling, it doubles as a cooling mechanism while adding visual flair. Down below, modern alloy wheels keep the stance grounded, and early prototype images show either a single seat or streamlined single-piece design. Altogether, the bike looks sleek, compact, and intentionally lightweight, true to its heritage. Moving inside the cockpit, Royal Enfield has embraced modern technology in ways the brand has rarely done before. The bike comes equipped with a full circular TFT display, blending the retro look with digital functionality. Connectivity is front and center, with smartphone pairing via Bluetooth, app integration, and the expectation of features like navigation, ride statistics, and system diagnostics. Safety tech has also caught up with the times. Cornering ABS and traction control are reported as standard inclusions, something that will inspire confidence in both new and experienced riders. When it comes to the powertrain, this is where things get interesting. Royal Enfield has kept some key details under wraps, including exact battery capacity, motor output, and charging times. What we do know is that the bike is designed for practical, urban-focused performance rather than headline-grabbing speed records. Reports suggest the use of an LFP battery pack, which is known for durability and safety. Estimates vary. Smaller, city-focused packs are expected to land around 3 to 4 kilowatt-hours, while larger packs could climb into the 8 to 10 kilowatt-hour range. That means we're looking at potential ranges between 100 and 200 kilometers in real-world conditions, depending on which variant you choose and how you ride. Motor output hasn't been finalized either, but analysts suggest it will be comparable to a modern 125cc to 150cc motorcycle. Some early comparisons list figures in the 20 to 27 kilowatt range, though these should be treated as educated guesses rather than official specs. The motor itself is mid-mounted, driving the rear wheel through a traditional chain setup. That design choice helps retain the familiar feel of a petrol-powered Royal Enfield, while providing the quiet, torque-rich performance electric motors are known for. On the riding dynamics front, multiple ride modes are expected, including Eco, Rain, Tour, Performance, and Custom. This flexibility will let riders adapt to conditions, whether they're maximizing range on a commute or enjoying spirited rides outside the city. Braking duties fall to a front disc setup paired with the aforementioned cornering ABS. It's a package aimed at safety, adaptability, and ease of use. Weight has been a big part of the Flying Flea story since the 1940s, and Royal Enfield continues that tradition here. While exact curb weight numbers haven't been published, the company stresses that the bike will be significantly lighter than its larger Petrol siblings. That should make it accessible for city riders who want something agile, easy to maneuver, and unintimidating to handle in traffic. Now let's talk price. This is where global positioning gets interesting. In India, early estimates suggest an ex-showroom price in the 2 to 3 lakh rupee range. That converts to roughly $2,400 to $3,600, depending on exchange rates. Those prices reflect smaller battery packs and local incentives. In international markets, outlets like New Atlas have suggested the Flying Flea C6 will likely retail for under $8,000. That's an aggressive price point for a stylish, retro-inspired electric motorcycle, especially when you consider competition from European and Japanese brands. So who is this bike competing with? Royal Enfield has its sights set on small to mid-sized electric motorcycles that blend urban practicality with lifestyle appeal. Think of bikes from Revolt, Ultraviolet, and smaller electric BMW models. The Flying Flea C6 is designed to stand out not just for performance, but for style and heritage. By marrying a timeless design with modern EV technology, Royal Enfield is hoping to capture both traditional fans and a new generation of riders looking for something different in the electric space. Beyond the product itself, Royal Enfield is promising full dealer support for the Flying Flea sub-brand. That means warranty coverage, servicing, and charging support that matches what riders expect from the brand. Exact warranty terms and infrastructure details will vary by market, but the message is clear. Royal Enfield wants Flying Flea to be a fully integrated part of its global ecosystem, not just a niche project. Of course, there are still unanswered questions. We don't yet know the official kilowatt-hour rating of the battery, the exact horsepower or torque figures of the motor, or the certified range under standard test cycles like WLTP. Charging speeds and times are also unconfirmed. And while we have ballpark price estimates, exact market-specific pricing and variant details will only come closer to launch. That said, Royal Enfield has been clear that full spec sheets will arrive as the bike moves toward its early 2026 debut. Looking at the bigger picture, the Flying Flea C6 represents more than a single motorcycle launch. It's a signal that Royal Enfield is serious about EVs. By leveraging its design heritage, the company is making electric motorcycles not only practical, but also stylish and emotionally appealing. This is a crucial move as more established brands enter the EV market and as younger riders look for sustainable options that don't sacrifice personality. For riders in the United States, the Flying Flea C6 is particularly intriguing. A lightweight, under $8,000 electric motorcycle with classic looks and modern safety features could hit a sweet spot for urban professionals, younger enthusiasts, and even commuters who want something different from a scooter or e-bike. Add in Royal Enfield's growing dealership network in North America, and the C6 could be the bike that broadens the brand's appeal in a way no other model has before. In conclusion, the 2026 Royal Enfield Flying Flea C6 is shaping up to be one of the most talked about electric motorcycles of the coming year. It blends classic Royal Enfield styling with forward-thinking technology, targeting city riders who want lightweight practicality without giving up style. While we're still waiting for final specs on power and range, the early details paint a picture of a bike that's approachable, affordable, and backed by a brand with decades of trust. For anyone watching the evolution of electric motorcycles, the Flying Flea C6 is a launch worth keeping an eye on.